Tracy with Tracy Talks, welcome. Can you do me a favor? Can you like, subscribe, and share? Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at More Tracy Talks, and I can be found on Substack as well. Thanks. So, am I the only one that wants relationships that are authentic and true? And I don't know, maybe everybody has a different definition of what authentic and true is. I've had a few conversations with family members, and this whole concept of talking about other people's relationships, it annoys me anyway. So let me make that clear that that doesn't really serve a purpose. And I have expressed that to those particular family members. But there are extended family members that share their situations with people. And they talk about their marriage and their experiences, and they talk about their frustrations, which is fine. But if you are married to someone, shouldn't you actually be talking to the person that you're married to? I mean, isn't that the only way to really resolve the difference? It makes me question, do people really want to have an authentic relationship? I see a lot of people putting on a good face and pretending that they're both in a healthy place and that they really do get along. There's a lot of this pretending going on, that we pretend we're actually friends. We pretend we're a happy married couple. We pretend that we really do get along. But the minute that something comes up, it seems that people don't actually talk to the person that they have the issue with. They talk to everybody else. And I don't know, it makes me question then, what is everybody else looking for? I mean, are people actually just wanting to avoid confrontation? Are they wanting to be unhappy? Because I know for myself, when I've been in those situations and the relationship was strained, I know how much it hurt me to hold those feelings and emotions inside of me. Like it was making me physically ill. And I've made it a vow to be in relationships with people that I can actually have the conversation with. It doesn't always happen in the moment. It doesn't always happen when those feelings come up in me, because I need time to determine how I do really feel and what is mine to own and what is mine to carry. I mean, sometimes it's me, and I know that simply just because I have feelings come up in me doesn't always mean that it's the other person's fault or responsibility to figure that out. So I do understand that it's not always the best to have these heated conversations in the moment, that it's better for me when I take a step back and I reflect and I sift through my layers of feelings. But I'm wondering, I hear so many people that don't actually want to have confrontation, and it's not even confrontation. How is it confrontation to express to somebody in your family how you really feel? How is it confrontation to express to your partner, the person that you chose to marry? How is that confrontational? Just to say, this is how I feel. I guess I don't understand. And I'm wondering, how do other people see this? The last thing I want to do is be married to somebody that I know is talking to everybody in their family about me. I mean, that would break my heart. It would break my heart if I was married to somebody and he was upset about what we had for dinner on Tuesday night. And he was so upset about it that he started talking to everybody else except me. And I'm just confused. I would be hurt. I would be frustrated. I would be sad. It also makes me wonder if some people really do want to try to resolve differences. And I get it. None of us had any type of conflict resolution. We didn't. None of us were given the tools. If anything, we were given tools to initiate conflict. We were given very harsh words growing up, us Gen Xers. We were given some hurtful tools. And I know it's not always easy. It's not always easy to figure this life stuff out. But I'm legitimately confused and concerned and bewildered, just like I don't understand. I don't understand why people seem to be so adversely against communicating with people directly, of setting boundaries, of just saying, this is what I need. Can you meet me here at this? And it's not even like it's this big event. It's like, we're going to be here and we're going to do this. And can you meet me and agree to this? I don't understand. And I guess too, part of me is coming from being in a relationship that it didn't matter what my feelings were. I felt like whenever I stated my opinion or belief on something, even if my ex believed the same thing that I did, he would oftentimes take on a different opinion and a different approach, just so it would become adversarial. That there was some element of him that enjoyed the conflict with me. And part of it just makes me sad that so many people are afraid to set a boundary, to make a statement, to just decide, this is what I need. Even with people that we're married to. And I guess that's maybe one of the reasons why I'm no longer married, because my person didn't want to work with me. And maybe that's what people want to avoid, because the alternative is either you are stuck in a situation with somebody who doesn't want to work with you and it's contentious all around, or you walk away. And that's not always easier. I know that. I walked away. It wasn't easier. The level of peace that I have on the other side was worth it. And I know for myself, I won't get back into that situation again. I won't be in a close relationship with somebody who I can't really sit down with and say, you know what? That thing that happened the other day, it didn't feel good. And this is why. And I made some bullet points. And I'm all for making a list of things. I know for myself, in those moments when I'm stressed and there's tension and my mind is just spinning, that I need to have the topics that I want to talk about written down on the paper. Ooh, part of me does want to cocoon away from people at times, because I do hear of people that talk about how difficult other people are. And I don't know. It seems like there's just a lot of fakeness. Like, if you really have a problem with someone, why don't you bring it up to that person instead of talking to everybody else about them? I mean, how many people are really authentic, and what does that mean? And that's why oftentimes I have been unwilling to open up to people, because I don't feel like people are authentic. I don't feel like people want true friendship. That so many of it is transactions. Like, what can you do for me in that moment? But then once that moment's over, I don't owe you anything. There's always this level of reservation that I have with people then. Like, I'm not going to share too much because I can't trust you. And I'm finding that seems to be a pretty common standard anymore. Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel out. Thank you.